The day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to jump in that gigantic, sharp, interactive board. We're going to discuss HP's FY24. Fourth quarter numbers are in. We got a whole year's worth of revenue numbers, and it's not looking good. HP declined more. In other words, the 2024 numbers are lower than the 2023 numbers. And we all know the 2023 numbers were like a train wreck compared to 2022 and 2021. HP is definitely on a downward spiral. I had to throw that in because I don't believe it's just the HP executives that have their heads in the clouds. I believe we got some industry media with their heads in the clouds. Folks, I started a series this year. It's called WTF Print Industry News. And I've kind of focused on the American industry media. But I read this blog that's published over the pond, and I had to say to myself 4 or 5 times, what the WTF Print Industry News? And that blog was OPI. I don't know if you ever heard of OPI. They kind of, have a blog dedicated to the office supply resellers. And folks, let me just read what they wrote. And they wrote this right after HP published their fourth quarter numbers. It's titled, Ball in HP's Court. There will no doubt be some naysayers who will want to put a negative spin on HP's latest set of quarterly results. Given the state of the print market, I would argue that a unit increase of around 10% isn't too bad. Sure, HP's outlook for 2025 isn't in the same ballpark, but there could be some upsides not included in its guidance. The downward spiral at Xerox and the uncertainties over the future of Lexmark might be things to keep an eye on as HP looks to grow its share in the contractual space. I read that and I said, what the WTF? WTF? Okay, first of all, I've talked about this numerous times. But when these OEMs publish their first quarter numbers, that's when we should compare quarter to quarter. The first quarter of the new year compared to the first quarter of the previous year. But when the OEMs publish their second quarter numbers, we should be comparing 6 months of the current year against 6 months of the previous year. And when they publish their third quarter numbers, we should be comparing 9 months of the current year to 9 months of the previous year. And when they publish their fourth quarter numbers, guess what? We should be comparing the whole year against the whole year previous. Because when you do that at HP, guess what? HP declined in revenue again. Yeah, HP, they just can't grow the company. They're in a downward spiral. Folks, the absurdity is unbelievable. The absurdity is unbelievable. There's a couple things I want to say regarding this OPI, introduction to an article. They want you to go pay them so you can read the rest of it. But folks, at the end of the day, let's talk about the very first paragraph. I got my magic pen in my hand. I want to circle this. There will no doubt be some naysayers who will want to put a negative spin on HP's latest set of quarterly results. OPI. Why don't you just say, there will no doubt be the end of the day with Ray putting a negative spin on HP's results, because I'm the one that does it. No one else will do it. I mean, come on, the industry's media and analysts here in the United States and obviously over the pond are petrified of HP. All the nonsense regarding HP Amplify, these folks hardly ever talk about it. The pain and agony that it causes dealers, they never talk about it. They don't mind talking about the downward spiral at Xerox, though. At the end of the day, Xerox has had its issues. And folks, I've shared some of those issues on this show, and I like Xerox. But at the end of the day, the downward spiral at Xerox? What about the downward spiral at HP? Who gives a flying crap about a quarter? You're talking about a 10% increase in units? 10% increase against what? The fourth quarter of last year? Let's look at some real hard reality numbers. You ready? 2.8 billion decline in print from 2021's number. In print, from 2023 to 2024, guess what? HP declined $691 million. I don't give a crap if they had a 100% increase in units when their revenue for the print business year over year declined by $700 million. That looks to me like the downward spiral of HP. Because I don't think those resellers that sell office supplies or those reseller dealer friends of mine that sell office print equipment, I don't think they really give a flying crap if HP increased its unit placements in their consumer business market. A bunch of little tiny $100 and $200 printers. Nobody gives a crap about that anyway. But at the end of the day, we should look at the yearly results. And the yearly results for HP, well, they suck compared to 2023. In the print business, they're down $700 million. Folks, at the end of the day, let's look at Xerox. The downward spiral at Xerox. Xerox is having some issues, there's no doubt about it. They're the largest dealer in the world that sells print equipment and supplies print equipment and services print equipment to end users. Well, guess what? The volumes of print are declining. The revenue from print equipment is declining. So when you're the largest, you're going to decline. That's why they got to reinvent themselves, and they talk about it all the time. What does HP talk about? We're going to put AI in PCs. We're going to put AI in printers. Total distractional, nonsensical talk. Talking about things that are permissions to show up. Trying to fool or distract the marketplace. At least Xerox is honest with the damn marketplace. Let's look at some reality. If you go back to 2021, Xerox's total revenue was $7.038 billion. This year, they're projecting, because they haven't finished their fourth quarter yet, they're projecting to do $6.2 billion, which will actually be a 10% decline from last year. Pretty damn close. And folks, declines suck. But if you look at the decline that Xerox has had since 2021, it's 11%. If you look at the decline in revenue HP has had since 2021, well, guess what? It's 14%. So maybe OPI should start saying the downward spiral at HP. So it's fair, right? Ladies and gentlemen, FY 2024 results. Xerox Printing had a negative 3.8% growth. Does anybody really give a flying crap if they had an increase in units when their revenue declined by 3.8%? What does that even mean? Yeah, we sold more, but we got less money for it? Let's look at the personal systems. Personal systems had a miserable 1.4% growth. You would think with all the AI going in those PCs, they'd be selling all kinds of stuff. But no, they're getting competition from other PC manufacturers, just like I told HP they would when they got all damn excited about the year 2021 and the year 2022 when they had that bubble. When their total revenue in 2022 was $62.9 billion. In 2021, it was $63.5 billion. Heyday, right? We're excited. We're HP. We're going to change the world. They thought they were going to live with those numbers. Well, guess what? In 2023, they fell off a damn cliff. $53.7 billion. And here they are in 2024. It's $53.5 billion. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in 2022, they bought a company called Poly, which had revenues of $1.7 billion. I've talked about this before. When you factor in the revenue from Poly, when you factor in their current FY 2024 total revenue number, HP is down $11.7 billion from the 2021 number. $11.7 billion from the 2021 number. That's a downward spiral of 16%. Seriously, numbers don't lie. That is a big downward spiral, isn't it? I'm looking at the key growth areas for HP. I just love their distractions in the marketplace. You know, they bought this little tiny company. I didn't even bother to see how to pronounce the name because it's absolutely irrelevant. It's a company that produces $5 billion in annual revenues, and they act like this is going to change the game for a $50 billion company. Are you kidding me with this crap? And they talk about the subscription business. It's just pure nonsense. Folks, at the end of the day, I am so sick of HP talking about their subscription print business, their as-a-service business, all this crap, and they don't share the numbers with you. You don't know if that's growing or falling off a cliff. They can talk about the millions of subscriptions all they want, but if they don't share the numbers of that, and they tell the whole world that's where their growth's coming from, we got subscriptions going on. Ink subscriptions with paper. It's changing the game for the worker. Holy crap, are you kidding me with this crap? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that the investors actually buy into this crap. We look at printing for the fourth quarter compared to printing for the fourth quarter of 2023. This is this article. Supply revenue's up 2%. Total hardware units up 10% year on year. Consumer printing revenue up by 3%. Commercial printing revenue down 1%. Folks, where's this 10% increase in units? Who gives a crap? When you look at the year's revenue compared to the previous year, it's down $700 million. It's irrelevant. And here you got HP. Innovation. Introduce the HP Print AI, the industry's first AI-powered intelligent print experience. What the hell does that even mean? AI print experience. HP's going to have AI in the printers. The first. They're out there. Holy crap almighty. Just unbelievable. Do I need to remind the people at OPI? You can go from the Q4 of 2020 all the way through. 2021, 2022. I showed these numbers numerous of times. Decline, all the way through 2023, 2024. Print's not growing at HP. I don't care how many damn millions of subscriptions they sell. HP, you go on their condensed, this is their consolidated condensed statements of earnings. They put this in there. Let me just read this to you. Services include revenues from support and maintenance contracts and other services, and excludes product hardware and supplier revenues associated with as-a-service offerings and instant ink subscriptions, which are categorized within the product revenues. Why would you categorize ink subscriptions in the product revenues without breaking that out and telling the whole damn world what those millions of subscriptions you have are actually worth? Because I don't think they're worth anything. I think this is a big old shell game going on over there at HP. I have to ask the question, why does anyone believe HP regarding instant ink or subscription printing? Why do you believe this nonsense when they don't have to share anything about it? It seems like HP Inc. has figured out that without accountability, making shit up is pretty easy. The third quarter, 10Q. They just finished the fourth quarter, so the 10K is not out. But in the 10Qs, and I've shared these before numerous times, they break out supplies, commercial and consumer. They tell you what they're doing, right? And we all know that commercial and consumer doesn't include any of the supplies in those numbers. But then they say the ink subscriptions are part of the product's revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, instant ink or subscriptions, give me a break. If they're so excited about this and they want to tell the whole world that's the future of their growth, then they damn sure should put it on their 10Qs and 10Ks and break it out and tell you what the damn number is. They should do it. Because otherwise they're taking money from Poly and all this other money and mixing it all up, hoping it all works out. But yet, it ain't working out from a total revenue standpoint. In print, what did I say they were down from 23? $700 million? Again, does anybody give a flying crap if they had a 10% increase in hardware? Give me a break. They talk about this instant ink. They're always talking about this instant ink. The millions of subscriptions. We need to hold them accountable to that. HP Inc. receives zero accountability. HP Inc. loves their industry's fearful analysts and fearful dealers. That crazy Amplify agreement that no one wanted to challenge. Very few people challenged that, ladies and gentlemen. I've been boisterous on that. I dug into that. Remember when HP, I was sharing with you how they were having audits with dealers and all this crazy stuff? And no one wanted to talk about it. One time I had the BTA lawyer on. Where's he been on this since then? I think he retired, then he's back in. Who knows what he's doing these days? But at the end of the day, what the hell? I think OPI and I think all our industry's media and analysts, they all have this bucket of whitewash. HP Inc. News whitewash creates alternative reality for the delusional. Folks, we need to question our media more, and they're more than happy to question me all they want. And they can bring up today's episode, and they can say I'm wrong about everything I talked about. They can put their spin on it. Because yes, I am a naysayer regarding HP. I don't like HP. I think HP is bad for dealers. I think HP is bad for even the office supply resellers. HP doesn't care about dealers and resellers dealing with end users. If HP had their way, they'd be doing it all direct without any of them. And in the meantime, your industry's media and analysts want to promote HP like they're some kind of great company. No, they're not. They're on a downward spiral. A pretty big one, too. And everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck at status quo, and I'll see you tomorrow.